Good morning, everybody. I guess it might be afternoon for some of our attendees. We are giving everybody just a second to hop on. We are here today with the incomparable Marki Lemons. I'm so excited, and we were just talking before we came live here. I was lucky enough to meet Marki in person in San Diego at NAR and was just inspired about the speech that she gave. Oh, good morning, Claire. Yes, we absolutely encourage everybody to hop into the chat. Let us know where you're tuning in from, how your day is going. And if you don't know who Marki Lemons is, she is a keynote speaker, author, 2 times sold out book at the NAR conference this week. And I already have been sharing some of the quotes and inspiration that she gave us. She has a background in real estate, mortgage, title. Her story is just amazing and motivating. And for 2022, for your goal setting, this is going to give you that little boost to get moving and get going and get those goals set. And she's going to let you know that you can crush them. So we're super excited to have her today for the speaker series. USA Mortgage is honored to have you, Marki. And I will go ahead and turn it over to you so you can talk about how we can set our goals for 2022.
Thank you, Katie. I am elated that we had the opportunity to meet in none other than sunny San Diego. There were so many great takeaways from that conference. 10,000 realtors globally were in attendance. And now is that time of the year that we need to start being strategic with our goal setting. I did have 2 sold out books in the Realtor bookstore, the Modern Real Estate Professional's Guide to Success and the Social Selling Made Simple Journal. We're going to talk today in the same way in which I talk to my 320 agents here in the city of Chicago, but I've had the opportunity to train 500,000 real estate professionals how to earn up to a 2,682% return on their marketing dollar, to the point that my cost of goods sold is 3% and I operate my business at a 65.9% profitability. But it starts with that goal. And I realized 2019, that I had met my goals. I came into the wonderful world of real estate in 1999 as a unwedded mother. I never say I was single because I've never been single, but I was unwedded. And I wanted to earn an above average income, yet feel like a stay-at-home mom. And real estate afforded me that opportunity. And I realized that when my son, Skylar, graduated from Howard University in 2019 with a degree in finance and a job at a Fortune 500 company, and I, as his mother, had no student loan debt. And Skylar did not get a lot of scholarships because he is the great socializer, just like his mom. I teach class from the concept of seek first to understand. I do want you to come over into the chat, and I want us to set an intention for what we want 2022 to look like. I just made a post over on Facebook because in the midst of the pandemic, I simply wanted to emerge better. And I made a post today because there's a young gentleman by the name of Thomas Stovall. I want you to think about this. I met him online last year. I brought one of his products. I have added an additional $174,958 to my bottom line, and it has not been a year. This is one total new stream of income. So let's discuss what this is going to look like. So I hope that everyone can see my screen. I think you can. Oh, it looks very, very nice. We had to load up the PDF. This is what I want you to think about. When setting your goals, it's important to pay attention to what you want to achieve in all areas of your life. 12 years ago, I was sitting at home. My money was funny. My energy was zapped, and I did not have enough time to date my husband. At that time, I read the book, The One Thing. It told me that I needed to be like a postage stamp and stick to one thing until I got there. And so I had to sit down and start reflecting. Marki, When in life did you earn the most amount of money with the highest level of happiness? Because it means nothing to me to have money and be unhappy. I've had a lot of money and I've been unhappy and I don't like the feeling. But I've also had a lot of money and been happy. And so I said, so Marky, when was that one time in life that you made a lot of money and you were happy? And it came down to one thing. I've always made the most amount of money with the highest level of happiness when I was actually doing fewer things. I know that you're great at doing numerous things. That does not mean that is what you're supposed to do. I also believe that everyone here today can have everything that your heart desires, but there's only so many hours in the day. That means we have to prioritize what we are going to do. So this is not just a business planning class. This is a get your life together class because I want you to earn money, but I want you to also be productive and I want you to be happy people. If not, all of our work is in vain and we don't have the wherewithal to consistently just exhaust ourselves. And so I want you to start thinking right now, how do you want every area of your life to look? I'm talking about health. I'm talking relationships. I'm talking spiritual. I'm talking financial. I mean, how do you want this to look? Because I do believe that you can have it all. It's just going to require you to prioritize. If you're not already doing so, I would love for you to subscribe to my podcast. I have over 100 episodes of social selling made simple. It is my podcast. I podcast consistently. I've had wonderful people on there. Katie Lance, who was a part of this series, Chelsea Pites, Michael Mayer, Dustin Brome. They've all had the opportunity to be interviewed by me, and we deliver that podcast every other week. So if you want ongoing tips from me, interviewing all these icons across the country, then I would say most definitely subscribe to my podcast. So let's get started. And all of this is coming out of the Social Selling Journal, okay? When we start thinking about this, you can pull out your mobile device right now. When you pull out your mobile device, because I want to give you additional content for after the facts. I got content for days, right? I want you to pull out your mobile device. And if your mobile device is 2 years or younger, the QR code reader will read this code. You're going to open the camera app on your phone. You're going to aim it over the QR code. A web page is going to come up. Sometimes it's at the bottom, sometimes it's at the top. And what this is allowing you to do is to join me over in Real Estate Live, where I have 7 hours of additional video content to support the concepts that I'm teaching you today. So this is just the intro class and live. I'm going to give you an additional 7 hours of video content. If you come over and you join Real Estate Live, you are going to tap on the Guide 1 tab, and that's where you will find that additional video content. When it comes to goal setting, whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. A couple of years ago, I had stopped writing down my goals. I was 100% operating out of this mobile device. And I realized that my productivity had gone down. And the only thing I could attribute the decrease in productivity to was the fact that I wasn't journaling anymore. I want you to keep a journal. I am high tech. But when I tell you writing it down changes everything, it changes it. I write everything down and then I type it. Okay. So I want you to start visualizing what you want your future to look like. I will tell you, for a couple of years, it was very hard for me to visualize what I wanted my life to look like. I believe that I was suffering from post traumatic stress syndrome as it related to the foreclosure crisis that existed, because essentially I lost all of my wealth or my perceived wealth. I was still blessed with a sound mind, but financially, I had lost everything and I wasn't able to dream the way that I was accustomed to dreaming. But I want you to close your eyes right now and I want you to visualize one thing that you want in 2022. And I want you to come over to the chat and I want you to type it in. One thing. On my vision board, I had a white on white Mercedes truck. And then I didn't get the white on white Mercedes truck. I ended up with a white BMW with red leather interior. The reason is because I'm a member of Delta Sigma Theta sorority, and those are my sorority colors. Okay. So I actually ended up with a better car than what was on my vision board. On my vision board right now is the Tesla Cybertruck, but it's not even in productivity yet because there's a delay in building the Tesla Austin plant. So it's still on there. I'm ready to buy it. But whatever the mind can conceive and believe, you have to affirm over it, it can achieve. And we want to think of a big, hairy, audacious goal. Set your goals so high that even if you fall, you will exceed your own expectations. But when I start thinking about how am I going to reach these goals, I was on a call earlier today with leading real estate companies of the world. And they sent me some stats, right? One of the stats was 70% female, 30% male. Another stat was 50% female, 50% male. Another stat was 80% female, 20% male. And I said, you know what? They will be an excellent fit for me. Because what I know is that when it comes to social media and technology, my audience is 70% female, 30% male. I know that that number one age category is 45 to 54. When we start thinking about setting our goals and being social in our selling efforts, we have to be clear who our audience is. I'll tell you why. I teach the digital marketing class for the Residential Real Estate Council. And there is a case study in the class. And it says that the first time home buyer average age is 32. If you were interested in selling to this audience, where would you hang out online? So guess what? I don't want to sell to a 32-year-old audience. And I know that that sounds crazy because a lot of people want a millennial audience. Here's a couple of reasons why I don't want a millennial audience. 70% of my audience is female, age 45 to 54. That means that my audience is just like me. It means that we're able to connect on a higher and even a deeper level. But here's the true reason. When you're dealing with women who are my age bracket, the likelihood is they've had multiple promotions. The likelihood is they're more likely to be married. They're more likely to already have owned real estate, which means they can afford more real estate. What I'm clear about is that that single first-time home buyer, they haven't generally earned enough money to buy what it is that I'm selling. So what did I decide to do as a result? I decided to delete Snapchat, TikTok, Clubhouse, and Twitter. But now I want you to know all four of those platforms are viable platforms, but they're not viable to my business. They're not the ideal place that my buyers and my sellers are hanging out. My buyers and my sellers are hanging out on Facebook, they're hanging out on Instagram, they're hanging out on YouTube. So I need to leverage those tools more effectively in order to hit my target audience where they are. But guess what? That 32-year-old first-time home buyer is ideal for my son Skylar, who's 25 and also a second generation realtor. But you want to know that age and you want to know that gender. Why do I want to know gender? My business colors are red and black, very strong colors. Once I started digging deeper into my target audience and realized it was dominated by women, I decided that the red and the black was too strong, too harsh. So I hired a female designer And she changed how my image looks online. And she did one simple thing. She added a lot of white backspace, and we now use the red and the black as an accent color. You want to know that location. So, what community should you focus on? You want to know that occupation. The reason I want to know that occupation is because people generally can afford 2.5 to 3 times their gross income. If I know your occupation, I know or can guesstimate what that average household income is, and I will know if you can afford to buy the area that I want to specialize in. I do want to have an understanding of education and that monthly income goal and where you're hanging out and what are the top products that I can put you in. I'll tell you, as a 51-year-old woman, I'm not selling to people looking for two-story houses anymore. I'm selling to people who are downsizing, who are looking for condos, but also they're looking for ranches and raised ranches because they're now starting to experience knee, hip, and foot issues. So you do want to know who your target audience is so that when you start creating your business plan, you're going to ensure that you're hanging out in the right location. Now, one thing that I love about all of these different social platforms, which is where I tend to sell, is that they're giving me the data of who's communicating with me. So I manage a couple of private Facebook groups. And if you go into your group, your business pages, you can find this same data. Okay. So with this one group, which is a smaller of my two groups, you're going to see how big my audience is, the amount of men that I have to women. What I will say is, I told you my audience was 70% female. Even though it's 70% female, my engagement of females is at 80%. So I have fewer men, and the men actually communicate and engage less than women. So this is one group here. You see that that number one age bracket is 45 to 54. Here's a second group here. Once again, we see very strong on females, and we also see that that 45 to 54-year-old age bracket is number one. This is why I don't do Twitter, Snapchat, TikTok, and Clubhouse anymore. I did do those at one point because I am focused on how to be as visible as possible to my number one sphere of influence. And that's something that we have to build into our business plan in order to experience success quicker and higher. Okay. So when we start thinking about who our target audience is and the different social platforms that we might hang out on, we want to set what they call our SMART goals. We want our goals to be specific, measurable, achievable, results focused, and time bound. For me, it was yes, eliminate 4 different platforms with the intention. Let me be clear about the intention. With the intention to be more visible, but to monetize social platforms where they have monetization. Right now, that would be YouTube, that would be Facebook Reels, that would be Instagram Reels. I can earn an additional stream of income because I'm providing relevant content on what it is that I do. So, in making your goals specific, and we start thinking about 2022, you want to think about, let's say you want to earn $120,000. Okay. And no, let's say you want to earn $100,000. If you want to earn $100,000 and your average price point is $250,000, you will need to add 2,880 contacts to your customer relationship management system. So I want to earn $100,000 in 2022. In order to get to $100,000 in 2022, I need to add 2,880 contacts to my customer relationship management system for every $100,000 that I want to earn. That means that I would close 20 transactions and earn $5,000 per transaction. Is that goal achievable if I'm selling only trailer homes or mobile homes? Likely not, because their average price point isn't $250,000. So that means then I need to identify communities where I could sell at the average price point of $250,000. If I was to identify communities at a lower price point, I wouldn't earn the same amount of money per transaction. So you have to make sure you put yourself in the position for them to be achievable. Make them results focused. 20 closed transactions, earning $5,000 per transaction. Make it time bound. These are the goals that I want to accomplish in 2022. And when we start breaking those goals down, we not only want those financial goals, but we want personal goals. We want family goals. We want business goals. So personally, I'm having surgery. I'm having lipedema surgery. My goal is to remove the lipedema from my body to get full mobility back, because I want to roller skate and I want to jump double dutch. That is my personal goal for 2022. For family, I want to continue to at least once per month date my 3 men, my husband and my 2 sons. So once a month, I take each of them out. The reason that I date my sons is because I want my sons to know how to date women, to be able to take a person out, spend money on them, give them your undivided attention, and expect nothing in return. So I do it to them so they will know how to do it to someone's daughter. Business. I want to grow my business. Okay. We have 320 agents. We would love to get to 400 agents between our 2 offices here in the city of Chicago. And then you want to have those financial goals. When we think about those goals on an annual basis, it can be overwhelming. That is why you want to take that annual goal and break them down into monthly goals, because now you can manage that more effectively. And you want to take those monthly goals and break them down to weekly goals. What I like to do is start with the end in mind. So I look at the annual goals and I make sure that all of the actions that I am taking today allow me to meet the annual goals. It also means that I effectively say no. Learn the power of the word no, because you know that whatever that person is asking you, it is not going to allow you to achieve your annual goals. No is so powerful. But let me tell you how it becomes even more powerful. If you understand the value of your time. And so an example would be, let's say you make $60 an hour. That means that each minute of your time is worth $1. When people ask you to do something, you assess a value to whether or not you should do that. If it takes 10 minutes, that's $10. But that's $10 out of your pocket. Do you want to give that person your money? And so I understand what 1 hour of my time is worth. Therefore, I am less likely to give my time away. Time is a commodity. In breaking down those financial goals, you do want to start with that annual goal. We set $100,000. We put that $100,000 in. We take that $100,000. We divide it by 12. I believe that gives us $8,333. When we start looking at these numbers, because I'm giving you, if you notice on the left-hand side, it gives you uppercase and lowercase letters. You want to come in and do the mathematical calculation. I'll tell you, my first year selling real estate, I wanted to earn $240,000. My average price point was $225,000. I did roughly $12 million in production. But the reason I broke these numbers out was because I realized that my friends could not afford to buy what it was that I was selling. So I had to pivot my sphere of influence in order to be around people who had an average household income of $100,000 so that they could afford to buy what it was that I was selling. Know the value of your time, and you also have to understand that sphere. So a lot of times people want to sell $1 million houses. I want to know, are you hanging out with people who earn roughly $400,000 per year? If you're not hanging out with people who earn $400,000, have a average household income of $400,000, the likelihood is they will never be able to afford $1 million home. So now you have to start doing the things that people who earn $400,000 per year do in order for you to put yourself in their sphere. I want to know quickly, do we have any questions? Claire says she wants to get cleaner and more organized. I love to be clean, Claire, and organized. When we came back home from the Realtor Conference and Expo, I was there for 6 days. I came home, got home about 6:30 p.m. I unpacked my luggage. I did my husband's laundry because I was gone over the course of the weekend. I did my laundry, and my bag is packed for my next trip on the 29th. Now, I didn't anticipate to do that, right? But a new energy hit me when I got home. And then because my schedule was off, I woke up at 4 a.m. the next morning and started working again. Stephanie said expanding business connections. Katie said debt free. Let me say this, you can get debt free. More listings for Maria. Thank you. Oh, Maria says she just heard me with NAR Women's Council. Thank you. I think you might have attended that Canva class. Let's see here. Good morning. Good morning. And we have Cincinnati, Ohio. We have Dayton, Ohio in the chat. So we want to set those goals. We want to be clear about how many transactions we need. We want to be clear about that target audience because we have the opportunity now to make some shifts in our business for us to be able to accomplish our goals easily. You want to get people to sign up for an appointment through a calendar app. So imagine you set up Calendly, Scheduledy, they got all these Schedulosity, they got all these different platforms where you have a buyer consultation, a seller consultation, a showing appointment, a listing appointment, an investor appointment, a tenant appointment, contingent upon the city that you're located in. So get people to sign up for an appointment through a calendar app. The simple act of people clicking on a time slot in a calendar app makes them 7 times more likely that they will show up and show up on time. I want to take you back. I stated you need to understand the value of your time. If you earn $60 per hour, then that means that every single minute is worth $1. I delayed setting up the Calendly app. Once I set up the Calendly app, I realized that I could save 15 minutes per appointment that I schedule. And here's why. When you look, these are my appointments that I have. So I don't meet with clients one-on-one. I refer those deals to one of our 320 agents. Every last one of my appointments syncs with my Google Calendar. Every last one of my appointments allows for Zoom to be pulled in for us to schedule a individual Zoom meeting. So everyone has a unique meeting number. For anything that's a consultation, I have PayPal and Stripe built into it. That means that I can also be compensated. So by me setting these meetings up, which are my 9 most likely meetings, I don't have to come and look at my calendar. I don't have to invite a person. I don't have to set up a Zoom link. I don't have to send them a payment method because all of that is built into Calendly and they're 7 times more likely to show up for their appointment. Okay, because we understand the value of our time. And so this system can easily, for me, pay for itself in under 2 days per year based on the amount of appointments I have every single day. But you can try it out for free. I'd say try the free version out because the goal is to save our time. I did something being funny. A lot of people want to pick my brain. I don't allow my brain to be picked because if I let you pick all over my brain, right, there's not going to be anything left. Also, I understand that when people want to take me to lunch, it is going to cost me 2 hours of my time. So I don't allow people to pick my brain. I don't allow people to take me out to eat because, one, I'm talking the whole time, so I do not have the opportunity to enjoy my meal. Okay. The second thing is I understand the value of my time. If they paid me what I'm worth, I can buy all the dinners I want to buy. Okay. So, being facetious, I came up with this little meme thing, and it says, reminder, if they want to pick your brain, ask them to pick a time and a payment method. If you went to bit.ly/pick Marki's brain, it will allow someone to pay me for a consultation based on the value of my time. You want to protect your time. You also want to protect your spirit. So I also don't hang out with negative people either. I give them very little time, like accidentally give them time because I want to protect everything around me. I do have another QR code. Okay. And let me tell you what we're doing with QR codes because I want you to be clear. When we're sending out direct mail pieces, the reason we put the QR code on them is because we have already shortened and customized the link for everything. That means that I can now measure if someone scans the direct mail that I send them, whether I generate a lead or not. So I want to know if people are interacting. But the reason I'm telling you to scan this code is because in scheduling my appointments, I also have probably 100 landing pages. Why do I have 100 landing pages? Because the person with the most landing pages generates the most leads. So what I am giving to you is my free buyer profile system. What this allows you to have is a Google landing page that you pull into your Google system. There's a video included on how to do that. Also a Canva template because I'm leveraging Canva templates in my business as well. One, because it makes it a lot easier for our in-office graphic designer. So imagine we have one graphic designer, but we have 320 agents. So Canva templates. And then it also is a PDF fillable file. So you see me always doing things, thinking about how can I move people consistently from online into my customer relationship management system so that I can meet my goals and my objectives by leveraging my time in an efficient manner? So you would pull your mobile device out the same way you did before, right? So I'm moving you through the internet. We've gone over to Facebook Live. You can join the Real Estate Live group. Now I'm taking you to a landing page, but I want you to see how I'm implementing these tools because here's what I don't do. I don't teach theory. Everything that I tell you to do, I do myself. I personally do myself because I hate it when people try to sell us as realtors on something they don't do themselves. So everything that I'm telling you, I'm practicing, I'm preaching it. I know how to do every last one of these setups myself because then it allows me to know what works and what doesn't work and to eliminate what doesn't work. So you would open that camera app again, you would aim it without taking a picture over the QR code. And when you open, there is a landing page. Now, by downloading this system, you will also be added to my email marketing list. And in the month of December, we're doing a free Canva masterclass for 4 consecutive Wednesdays, and you would get an email about the opportunity to take that class. So we got our Calendly link, right? We understand who our target audience is. But I want us to think about our morning routine. As a real estate agent, and this came from Tom Ferry, the rules of an unstoppable agent. 1, obsession. What are you obsessed about? 2, an unstoppable psychology. 3, an unstoppable morning routine. 4, unstoppable action. 5, unstoppable integrity. 6, unstoppable influence. And 7, unstoppable level of faith. And I don't know if I can find them quickly, but let me see if I have them right here. I keep mustard seeds in my office, trying to find if I have that little bag right here somewhere. Can't find the bag real quick. So we're not going to harbor on that. But I keep mustard seeds with me because I believe that we should have the faith of a mustard seed. That's that unstoppable level of faith. But let's talk about this unstoppable morning routine. And I don't want you to think of it as just a morning routine. I want you to think of it as when you wake up routine. Some realtors do a lot of business in the afternoon. Some of us do business at nighttime. It's based on your lifestyle preference. But what I do mean is that when you wake up, for me, I am focused on silence. I have different YouTube meditations that I listen to. My affirmations. For my affirmations, I use an app called Prompter. PROM. Let me get it together. PROM. And I typed that in wrong. PROMPTER. Okay. So Prompter, PROMPTER. So when you think about your affirmations, it gives me these daily affirmations. And I'm just going to tell you 5 for today. I am constantly learning and improving every day, and I enjoy it immensely. I always remain lighthearted and I have fun in all I do. I am both worthy and deserving of all the goodness this world has to offer. I always earn very substantial financial returns for my invested time. I have excellent telephone skills. So here's what's funny. I'm going to take it back to number 2. I always remain lighthearted and have fun in all I do. So I'm talking to my uncle yesterday. He's actually my grandmother's brother. And he says, "Yes, Marky, I know that you were in San Diego working last week, but it seems like all you did was have fun and dance." Because that's what I posted on the internet. And I did have fun and I did dance every single day. No one should have as much fun as I have at work every single day. But it's also because I have these systems in place. Okay. So we have that silence, affirmation, lead generation. uh, I'm going to generate leads every single day because what I know is I need to add the 2,880 contacts for every $100,000 I want to earn. The exercise, I have a vibration plate because I have lipedema and it's to help drain my lymphatic system. And under my desk, right up under here, I have a bike. Okay. So that is for the leg movement and also helps with my inflammation. And then I have scripts. I do not cold call. I'm not telling you to not cold call. My son loves cold calling. I don't like cold calling. Scripts can be bots. They could be text messages. They could be DM messages. They could be messages on Instagram. They can be Messenger, whichever message system you like. The same way that you're picking up the phone and calling, you can actually send that message. You can send an audio message or you could send a written message. So scripts can be more than a phone script. You want to communicate with people and their preferred communication style. And there are generations of people, right, who do not talk on the telephone. That means that you have to communicate with them in their preferred style if you want them to engage with you. My morning routine came from the Miracle Morning. Now, after I had completed the book, The One Thing, and remember that quote was be like a postage stamp, stick to one thing until you get there, I saw some growth, but I still wasn't where I wanted to be. So I read the book, The Miracle Morning, I'm thinking 2012, 2013, and it talks about life savers, silence, affirmation, visualization, exercise, and reading, and scripts. I developed tailored to us in the world of real estate that life of sales. So if you're going to read something over the Christmas holiday, keep in mind that the National Association of Realtors has the largest real estate library and you can do digital checkout. You would want to read The One Thing and also The Miracle Morning. But the best routine for whenever you wake up is one, write a to-do list the night before. Okay, so start with that night, set your intentions for the next day. Get up early. At one point, I didn't get up early at all. Then my son got into a tier 1 school. I started waking up at 5:15. Once we went into the pandemic, I didn't have to get up anymore because he was at home. He's now in high school. One thing that I implemented, I want you to think about this. My son has a driver. The driver comes, picks him up every single morning, personal driver, takes him to school, picks him up, bring him home. Here's why. I understand the value of my time. So I had to sit down with my son because my husband had my son thinking, your mom just doesn't want to take you to school. That is absolutely not true. So I sat down with my 14-year-old son because he has an A in math. And I said, let me explain the math behind why I don't think it's a good idea for me to take you to school. It takes 2 hours per day, 1 hour in the morning, 1 hour in the afternoon. I am essentially paying the driver monthly what I earn per hour. I can pay him with 1 hour, and now that frees me up 39 additional hours per month to make more money. My son told me financially I was doing the right thing. That came out of the 14-year-old mouth. He loves his driver. He has a new relationship with his driver, but I do not take him to school or pick him up because it's 2 hours per day, and it is not a good utilization of my time. And his driver is a retired driver, had a CDL license. His daughter reached out to me and said, Marki, I want to know if the occupation or the job is still available because I believe that my father would get joy from taking Austin to school. And she did text me and says, Marki, my father truly enjoys the opportunity you've provided. So I get free time and I'm able to help a retired CDL get back out and drive and do what it is that he likes in retirement. One run in the morning, one run in the afternoon. You got to get a good night's sleep. I know that for some this is problematic. I do get 7.5 hours of sleep. You do want to read something every single day. You want to get in what is your version of exercising, roller skating, dancing in the middle of the day, pick something, and you want to prepare to be productive. I have my phone sitting over here, but my phone is unplugged. One, because it won't interrupt me, right? I do turn off my phone every single night so that I can be more productive, okay? And you do want to write everything down. So let me see here because I have my notebooks here. So I carry with me at all times a notebook, okay? And I actually have a bunch of backup notebooks. And I use these notebooks all the time because we want to write everything down in order to be more productive. You have to ask yourself, what is the goal? Now, when I'm thinking about goals, this is just an overarching theme, okay, for my goals. I know what my goals are. I have my goals written down. I also have them typed out. One of the goals generally is to earn more money. Yes, I want to earn more money, but I want to earn more money and have fewer headaches. I don't want to have more headaches to earn more money. Hence why my son, get this, has a driver. People talk about it. Oh, no, I did the right thing. I feel so good, and so does he, and now so does James, the driver. When we don't have goals, I want you to think about Chicago in the wintertime, whether you've been to Chicago or not. Let me just paint this picture of polar vortex, negative 40-degree wind chill factor. I suffer from what is known as seasonal associative disorder. Generally, when we fall back, I get a little shift in my personality. It's not as pleasing as it normally is when the sun is shining. So, if you don't have your goals, it is the equivalent of suffering from seasonal associative disorder in the middle of polar vortex. Not only do we want to have our goals, we need to have an exit strategy. Start with the end in mind. I'm doing all of this because of my why. Skylar started out as my why in 2019. Why did I even come into real estate? As a loan originator. It was so that as an unwedded mother, I could earn that above average income and feel like a stay at home mom. Then I got married and I had another child, and my children are 11 years apart. Everything that I'm doing right now is for them. How do I spend more time with my husband? How do I get the next child through college with no student loan debt? How do I help Skylar to build his real estate business? And how do I leave them a legacy? All of this work is for them. So, what I want you to do at home right now, I want you to raise your right hand and I want you to insert your name, but repeat after me. I, Marki Lemons Rao, am committed to excelling in the world of real estate. Real estate affords me unlimited earning potential while controlling my own schedule. This is what I want for you because real estate can be your everything. Time is a limited commodity and it is actually more valuable than money. Hence my why my child has a driver example, right? I understood the value of the time because I calculated it. I understood that me taking him to school is not the most advantageous thing to do. But I do realize that when I came home the other day from the Realtor Conference and Expo, the first thing I did when I got home was I did my husband's laundry. Yes, I did my husband's laundry because I was not here this weekend. Why do I do my husband's laundry? Because my husband loves me to do his laundry. It is actually more advantageous for me to drop it off at the laundry service. I need you to be clear. I understand that. But because my husband allows me the opportunity to travel the world. I'm gone about 100 nights per calendar year, and he does not complain one, never, okay? That when I come home, doing his laundry is important to me. It's the one thing that I am committed to consistently doing before I go to work. So I did the laundry before I went to work the weekend before, but I wasn't here this past weekend. So now he has all his laundry is folded and put up, but I understand that is not a good utilization of my time, but it keeps peace in my household and it keeps my husband happy. Sometimes you got to get it's a trade-off here, okay? Pick your arguments. I want you to officially stop telling people you are busy. I want you to start telling people you're booked, but better yet, Mel Robbins. How many people here listen to Mel Robbins? Mel Robbins had a post, okay, and I started to implement what Mel Robbins said. Mel Robbins said that we have to stop telling people we are busy. We need to tell people the truth, and that is the fact that whatever they're asking us is not a priority for us at this time. Ooh, I've been practicing that. I feel so much better because it used to be, I'm not busy, I'm booked. Because let me tell you this when your friends talk about you, they never say it in a pleasant tone. It's always, oh, Marky's so busy. I get them together real quick. No, I am not busy. I am booked. My calendar is filled with money making opportunities. But now, the last couple of weeks, I've been telling people, I don't even tell them I'm booked. That's not a priority right now. It's just not my priority. And it really tells the entire truth. So stop making yourself busy because busy seems like we just running around doing something. No, we're being very strategic about how we want to live our life. And we understand what this calendar looks like. And we understand that we cannot add anything else. So when we look at the 50 other things we have to do, that is not a priority. But I wanted to share with you. So this is my personal calendar, okay? This is the calendar that I want my agents to follow. The reason I want my agents to follow this calendar is because this is the calendar that comes from the roadmap to a successful $30 million business, which is through coretraining.com. My managing broker of record, he has been in that program for years. He implements some of the strategies in our office. So I took chapter 4 of the roadmap to a successful $30 million business, because the book is paper, and I made it a digital Google calendar that these are reoccurring events that I could easily share with my agents because a lot of times they don't know what they should be doing. At the very top of the calendar, We have wave.video/calendar. It tells us what every single day of the year is. Remember, we talked about having that unstoppable morning routine. In the morning, under the miracle morning, I want to do my life of sales, silence, affirmation, lead generation, exercising, and scripts. I do weekly want to make sure that they are getting their just listed, just sold postcards out. I do want them to blog once per week. I want them to meet either in the office or with their teams. When you look at everything in green, over on the left-hand side under Sunday, you see the word forward. That means that when it comes to your power hour, when it comes to your VIP calls, even when it comes to your social media posting, I want you to keep the forward model in mind. That means that when I'm reaching strategically out to people, that target audience, I want to make it about them. I want to focus on their family. I want to focus on their occupation. I want to focus on their recreation. And I want to focus on their dreams. It makes sliding into their DM and leveraging your scripts more efficient. Okay. So you have your forward. I do believe that agents should spend 1 hour per day on social media for the purpose of lead generation, for the purpose of communicating. Now, there's a young lady by the name of Annette Anthony. She's our VP of technology. Annette Anthony does 7 things for 7 people by 7 a.m. Okay, that's her morning routine to reach out. 7 things for 7 people by 7 a.m. Okay, and in doing so, she's thinking about their family, their occupation, their recreation, and their dreams. So Annette Anthony sent me a pack of seeds. The reason she sent me a pack of seeds because I had a Facebook post that said they thought that they had buried me. They did not know that I was a seed. And she told me to continue to sprout. And she sent me a little pack of seeds. I'm going to remember that gesture for the rest of my life. So I built this calendar out because I need people to understand at a minimum, these are the things that you need to do if you want to build a successful $30 million real estate business. Our inability to implement sustainable practices, right, always got us hanging. We do not want to be hanging, right? Reaching back, trying to search for that solution. Better yet, trying to find that mixing sock, right? That is in the dryer. We all got that missing sock, and it's the most annoying thing ever because we're thinking, well, how do we lose the sock, right? So we do want to get ready, get set to go in order to implement these strategies. It's really about figuring out what you are, what your brand represents, and then creating content around that brand targeting the correct audience. I told you that my audience is predominantly female, and I also told you what that age bracket was. I want to know what content, right, that you can create. And I'm seeing Katie over here, busy is exhausting. It is, but then we speak it into existence, right? So it becomes our reality. My favorite takeaway is this whole presentation. Well, thank you very much. You want to focus on the target audience. Guys, what are some of the things that you want to do? And I'm seeing somebody, I think, raise their hand to speak. Okay, we're going to give you 1 second. If you could come over to the chat, I want to make sure. I want to ask you a question. How do you plan to prospect for new business today? You can come over to the chat and type that in. How do you plan to prospect for new business today? And I want to give you a couple of ideas, and then we're going to open it up for a little Q&A. When you think about how you're going to prospect for new business today, I want you to think about your target audience. So not too long ago, I was in Gillette, Wyoming, and they had a reader glass sponsor. Now, I'd never seen a reader glass sponsor, but what they know is the average age of their agents, and they know that they can't see, or better yet, they know me, and they know that I have a bifocal in every last pair of my glasses. I've had them since the age of 40 because I can't see. And so I thought that that was a genius idea. I'm actually coming over here to my mobile device because I want to share with you a picture of these reader glasses. Because when I tell you the sponsor came in with reader glasses, these are some of the reader glasses. You can see them all on my face and on my t-shirt. Let me move to the other way that I had. And we had a really good time. We even did a video with the reader glasses because we understood the target audience. This lender was genius. I'm like, this should be a realtor concept, right? The reader glass sponsor. And thinking about that, I want to focus on the south side of the city of Chicago. So I understand my numbers even deeper. Because I live in a segregated city, racially and economically, I'm always looking to solve the problem. Okay. That means that when I'm taking a look at the fact that these women are who I was, an unwedded mother, I want to solve their issues. I'm looking at their age, and I understand that I'm engaged with these women and solving their problems. I'm going to come over and do a Facebook Live video, how to layer up to $19,500 in down payment assistance to buy a home. Also, I'm going to take a look at how to create $190,000 in sweat equity in 12 months. Okay. So you have to ask yourself, how are you going to generate business today? Because you want to add those 2,880 contacts to your customer relationship management system. You want to protect your time and understand what 1 minute of your time is worth, so that moving forward, you will have the ability to tell people no, or better yet, that is not a priority for me. Katie, I have a question. I see someone who's raised their hand to speak. Do I tap on that speak button? Let's go see. Oh, it's Terry Adams. I guess we're gonna try this out. No request pending. Okay, I think Terry might have stepped away, but I have no problems. If you have any questions, come over to the chat, type those questions in, and let me know, how are you prospecting for business? If you can, come over, let me know, how are you prospecting for business? No questions in the chat? Let's see if we have anything in the Q&A. I don't see anything in the Q&A. So I want everyone here to take the time to work out what your goals are for 2022. The book, The One Thing, you can get in the Realtor Library. The Miracle Morning you can get in the Realtor Library. And we want to implement some new strategies. We want to implement some new strategies in order to earn that above average income and keep our commitment to ourselves. Thank you, guys. Claire says she's trying to call 3 past clients every day. Claire, if anyone here, if you're not, I would recommend Michael Mayer's 7 Levels of Communication. If you have a database of 100 to 150 Raven fans who are referring you business, it will give you a strategy on following up with them, and also getting one of your affiliates or your sponsors to partner with you on client appreciation events. So all of that is in the book, The 7 Levels to Communication. Guys, I want to thank you for being here today. Please feel free to connect with me online. Hey, Katie.
Hi. I just wanted to hop on and thank you so much for your time today. Another amazing presentation. And yes, I typed in there my favorite takeaway I was sharing with Marki was that I'm not busy, I'm productive. And just in the 6 days since I last heard some of these tips, I've already implemented that. And it really is just that little mind shift makes such a difference. Just how I go about my day, even, you know, it's instead of like, oh, I have so much to do, it's going to be exhausting. Just, I'm proud of myself because I'm so productive, you know? So just that little mind shift of I'm not busy, I'm productive. And then when somebody says, oh, how is it? How's your week or whatever? I don't say I'm busy. I'll say I've had such a productive week, and it just sounds so much better. So I also want to point out that we are already planning, this is our finale for 2021, but we're already planning our 2022 speaker series, which is going to be set up a little bit differently to hopefully get more engagement. And Marki is already committed. I'm going to get her on the calendar. She's going to pick some months, and we've already talked about some topics that will be a good follow-up to what we talked about today. She has some things with video and how to partner with some of the affiliates, like she was just saying, to help grow your business. And so we're looking forward to all of that. So thank you so much, Marki. Your time is so valuable, and we thank you for sharing it with us today.
Thank you for allowing me the opportunity. I appreciate it.
All right. Thank you, everybody. I see lots of thank yous there in the chat, and I will send up a follow-up email with links and information, and we can't wait to see you in January of 2022. Have a good one.
Bye-bye.
Bye.